Hi guys, welcome back to Z's Corner. This is Zal. So initially I had planned on releasing a video around scrapping ships, but today is patch day, and with the new year there's a new patch, and the big focus on this patch is a new ship called the Amalgam. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So I guess my original plans have been delayed a bit, and as you can kind of see on screen right now, I've got the new ship out. So I kind of wanted to release a pretty quick video that gives my thoughts and impressions on the ship so far, and whether or not it's worth it for you to buy it. So really what it looks like is that this ship is Scopely's answer for higher level players, especially the whales, to kind of fall back in love again with raiding. I think I said in one of my previous videos, just like one or two videos ago, where I said, at higher ops levels, raiding becomes pretty irrelevant. And while Scopely releases this new ship, and everything kind of changes again. Suddenly, raiding can become viable because the ship bonus on this ship is pretty spectacular. So what exactly is that ship bonus? Let's take a quick look at the ship. So I've kind of pulled up the ship ability. Mine is at tier 8 right now. It's not maxed, and the reason it's not maxed actually is because of I guess a Scopely mistake, where I'm basically one pack away from maxing my ship, and the pack said limit 2. I bought one because of some issues. I rebooted, and when I rebooted, the pack went away. So I'm one pack away from maxing it, and I can't max it because the pack is gone. I've opened a help ticket with Scopely, so hopefully they can address that. So at tier 8 then, if you look at the ship ability, it says, after winning the battle, if the target has more resources than the Amalgam's available cargo space, the Amalgam fills its cargo space and then takes an additional 0.083% of the remaining resources. And this ability only activates if the Amalgam has available empty cargo space before attacking. So that's kind of key. And where this really kind of plays in is if you're actually raiding, let's say, another whale. And if you're raiding another whale, and let's say they have a trillion in resources. If they have a trillion in resources, then what this 0.08%, 0.083% means is that you'll get about 830 million in total resources, which is quite a bit. And a trillion in resources for a player that's, let's say, ops 50 to 51 is not really that crazy or out of the question. So I have a couple of examples of a couple of raids that I did earlier today. I apologize, it's not live, but I didn't really have time to kind of press all the buttons. So if you look at the first one here, this is an ops 42 player. He had about 5 billion in total resources, and you can see that on the screen, in the screenshot at least, that I had about 10 million in cargo when the ship ability was activated. Okay, and in the second example that we have here, this was an ops 43 player. He had about 42 billion total resources when I started. And a single hit here took about 26 million of his resources. Now, did these pay off for me? Not with these two guys, unfortunately, because the Corvus is really expensive to repair. On the first hit, my total repair cost in Trite was over 500 million. And on the second hit, my total repair cost in Trite was over 100 million. So given those repair costs, I only got like 1 or 2 hits in on these guys before they hopped online. The raids were ultimately not really worth it for me in these cases. But again, I didn't do too much searching earlier. I couldn't really find an optimal target. A real quick gut check for me, I think an optimal target would probably be anywhere between ops like 45 to maybe 50 to 51 to kind of try and crack them in a reasonable amount of hits. And then if they're not online, if they're not in territory, then if you're parked next to them, then if you go at it, you can get a lot of resources really quickly. So along with the ship, aside from just the basic rating component of it, Scopely introduced a couple of other new concepts, and one of them is the refinery. So basically, if you look in the refinery here, once you build a ship, you'll get something that's in between territory and discovery that says Amalgam. And if we click on this tab right here, I already did my refines today, but basically you can see, there's one that's called plundered cargo. And with the plundered cargo, then you refine into tokens and also mats that you actually need to kind of upgrade the ship. And then it comes with a nifty little exocomp that calls plunder. Make sure you turn this on before you go grinding for your hostiles, because this has 9,900% bonus. So basically what this resulted for me was about 1 million of the cargo per hit when I was doing the grinding. And I took a video of that a little bit earlier, so we're going to cut to that real quick for you guys to kind of check that out. So here's the video that I took earlier of me grinding on these level 31, I guess, transports. You can find these in the faction space that was introduced a few patches ago, where you can hunt, I guess, faction hostiles without losing rep. So let's watch the video real quick. You see kind of, I've got 5 on just because I wanted some even more extra loot. And I've got the Exocomp right here on. You can see that 1 out of 4. So every time I hit one of these hostiles, you can see that my cargo, this is from 2.15 million, it goes up to 3.18 million. So, anywhere between 1 to 1.1 million is what you get when you have the Exocomp on. So make sure you turn that on before you do it. And take a note real quick that the cooldown on getting those, getting the Exocomp is every 3 days. So it has 2 refine options, a single refine, and I think it was a double or triple refine. So make sure that you do the appropriate refine and kind of load up as you need to on that on the cargo, on the plundered cargo. So you can do it every few days. So the Exocomp lasts for about an hour. So I think in an hour's time I got quite a bit, and we can check that real quick to see how much I got. Okay, so guys can kind of see on screen right now that in about an hour or so, I got about 40 million of the plundered cargo. Each refine for me at tier 8 for the Amalgam is 2 million. So that's going to last me quite a bit of time. And when you refine, you also get something called the Amalgam Refinery Token. And with this, you actually have to go to the Recruit tab to kind of get some more fancy stuff. And we will pull that up. That was not the Recruit tab. So here, if you scroll over, you'll see something called the Amalgam Special, and this is, I guess, for tiers 6 through 9. If there's different options, and there's no cooldown on this one, so you can use it as you need it. But one of the best things about this is that you can get Honor Guard Wharf shards, which are always good, as well as some rep Exocomps, which is also really good for grinding rep. And also something called the ship skin shard tracker. This is what you need. The ship skin shard trackers are what you need if you look back in the refinery tab. Sorry for all the clicking. I wish they kind of made the UI a bit easier to navigate on this one. But basically, if you look at this, some of the I guess refits are here. Different ship skins, different projectile beams, even the Amalgam cloaking, just so you have an idea of how much it costs. So basically, that's kind of the new ship. I like it. If you ask me what my recommendation for this would be, I'd say, it's $100. I'd say buy it if you can, and take it slow. Unless you're a top 10 player. If you're a top 10 player, I suggest you do what I do and buy it and then try and power tier it up. Total cost to kind of get it to tier 9. If you didn't make the mistake that I outlined earlier, if you didn't make my mistake, the total cost to get to tier 9 is going to be about $900 or so US. With this ship, I think it makes it easier for whales to raid whales, basically. And what's that ideal range? I'd say if you have a G5 ship out, you're kind of safe. So as long as you have a G5 ship out there, you're maybe like a top 10 player on your server. If you're a top 10 player, then get one of these ships, max it, and then look for players who are maybe in the top 25 or top 50, and those are going to be your primary targets. If you're just kind of starting, if you're like one of the lower ops guys, like 32, 33, or even if you're just in your 40s, just kind of get the ship out and take it slow. Is my recommendation, because you'll have time to max it as long as you keep up with those daily refines in the Amalgam tab. You get the mats that you need, so you'll have plenty of time to max this ship, and there's no real need for you to kind of spend $900 right away to try and max it. So anyway, that's my quick take on the new ship for the patch. Thank you guys for tuning in, and please feel free to leave any comments that you might have. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And I think tomorrow or the next day I'll try and get that ship scrapping video out as well. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good night.